History is repeating itself with Ajax, as last year I had to rebuild them after a rough start. And this year, 11 points off league leaders PSV means the once giants of Holland still are struggling. So today we're building a mega team taking Ajax back to the glory days. But this is going to be made difficult with some extremely hard challenges. As can I really do it? Can I take Ajax back to the top? Building a team worthy of Champions League success. As yes, people, what has happened to Ajax? We got players like Hato and Sutalo that are decent, but then Henderson. And I just don't get how this fits. A mishmash of a squad with 34-year-olds, we've got a 31 Veghorst, then Apcom, championship level. As we've also got contracts running out and 2 on youth players. What is going on? We've got to redo this team. As we're going to be able to redo it with some challenges. As always, as the first one's the easy one, win the UCL title, which is usually our hard objective, but the medium one in this one is to promote 3 youth players, do things the Ajax way, as the hard one even more so. 5 Dutch players in the starting 11 at all times in this save. As then keep your eye out for this mystery locked objective. We'll see that at any time, but a thing that just surprises me more, £25 million. Now, yes, I have put it on pounds. Let's just learn to forgive that. And forget, as the academy, it started bigger than usual, and we've got a decent player, Jason Janssen. When I say as well in the objective, promote 3 youth players, I mean when we reach the UCL final, 3 must be in our squad. And that squad, not starting 11 like the Dutch players. As speaking of Dutch, we're sending a 5-star scout to the Netherlands to find some talent. Who do we look for first? Well, I think we've got plenty of strikers, maybe a midfielder. I don't want to rely on Henderson. And I don't want to rely on being a balanced team, really. We are a dominant team over here. We've got to go and press people's faces. Not literally. That's weird, as I'm also going to change this to attacking, counter, and aggressive defending. Just maybe shifted back a little. Maybe around 80. There we go. And I'll fix all them rolls out, as that is our formation. Now we need players to fit it. As this is the starting 11, I'm going to go with Hilson. I had him in an FC 24 save. Absolutely unbelievable. But isn't Dutch. As we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe 8 in this squad. Nope, it's 7 because Ramage is actually German. So I'm going to loan a lot of players out, but I do want a few more Dutch. And especially right winger, as I'm going to sell Berghuis. I just don't feel like he's going to do anything. 32 years old already. Only going to go down, so I'll play a little bit of youth this season, as we've got Apcom we're going to try and sell, and then a bunch of loan listed. Going to be fun seeing the deals for them kind of players. As Brian Bobby, we're going to get a lot of deals for this man here, which we won't be accepting, but we have accepted one for Akpom and also Berghuis, so our 2 transfer listed gone. That was rather easy, as now £41 million, and that's going on a Dutch player. Just which one do we go for? Because we have got Traore, who steps in for Berghuis' position anyway, and Götze. I think I might give this youngster a go, meaning we don't really need to go out there and get a winger, and the player that I found, Ringo, is actually a very cheap youngster who I'm going to take under my wing and maybe even play a little bit. I'm thinking I might change my philosophy up for year 1. Maybe we go youth focus just for this first season. Yes, I know we've got a load of money, but we can put that into a scouting system. Not just scouting though, but coaches. If we want to grow our youth players, we need the best coaches possible. They're very good ones. Sure, not for pressing, and it hasn't gone well pre-season, but hey-ho, we're taking this chance. We are going to trust our youth players. As our newest scout, actually, has found some pretty decent ones. Niek Janssen, Jeroen Peters, Joris Willems, and David de Jong. This is incredible, but still, I want to outsource some youth players, meaning we go and buy some real ones, as Dirk Propper's the first one, Ram van der Berg the second from Middlesbrough, following in the steps of Chupa Apcom as Sem Steinen, is another player for the cam position. A very good player him, which took our budget down just a little bit. Still, we've got quite a bit of money in. Right, here's where we made the money. There was 2 release clauses paid, but look at all these loan deals. So many bloody loan deals. Sat bloody ages making sure I loaned all these out, and if that isn't worth a like, I'd have no idea what is. As also hit that subscribe button. We are on a race to 50k, and also Soccer Deal Shop for some very good replica kits. They're in the description, as oh my days, Stein, he's gone up to an 80 rating. We've got Bromley at an 82. Hilson's grown on the wing, although we accidentally loaned the other winger out the club, as we can mix this defence around and mix the midfield around us. Proper makes this a proper team that can compete at the top of the Eredivisie. Not really caring that much though about a proper club at the moment. We've got our top scorer, Stein, hence the 80 rating. What a good signing that was as the loans. We've got a lot to tuck into right here. Our best regen youth player is Hansen down here. Right, we've got Hansen and Hansen, De Jong and Peters. Now we need 3 of those players or another one through the academy next year to complete the objectives. As a 72 GOTS, I accidentally loaned out Mika. Turns out a good idea, as then we've got more wingers down here. We've got a striker, centre mid, Carlos Forbes at Wolves, and Borna Sosa at Torino. Now, I thought he was at Rangers or Celtic. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that one. Still a very good player, and you all know about Jorel Hato. If you're watching this video as an Ajax fan, this man is the future. But for me, he's the future at centre-back. Training him there, he's got the height, left-footed, he should be a real asset there. Gonna push him across. Oh dear, that's stinky. Now, I don't know if that's even Conference League. 4th in the Eredivisie. Terrible going. It now 7 points off PSV. Did we win a trophy? No. Ranhe Becker's Feyenoord. We lost in round 2 to PSV Eindhoven. And in the Europa League group stage, finished 17th. Terrible going, and we lost to Lazio 4-3 on aggregate. This has been horrific for Ajax. Then again, that's performance-wise. Youth-wise, we've been brilliant, and that team right there is only going to get younger. And look at this. Season number 2 for Ajax. Our reserves are stacked. We've got wingers, we've got midfielders. Forbes and Mika were good wingers, but at the moment, I might give Hilson the benefit of the doubt if he can actually train as a left winger. 27 weeks, though, maybe a little too much. It's 24 for the right. Maybe we could train him as a right winger. Bertrand Traore not getting any younger, as we've somehow made the Europa League quarter-final. How did we do this? I don't understand. Have we just been given the Europa League qualification and 54 million? So that's more than we just made. Board took nothing off us. A lot of players out of contract though, as this year, I'm just thinking with 41 players, we have a major clear out. So a lot of good rated players on here, and players that are just past Wonderkid status, and players that haven't worked out for us. Make our budget massive. Speaking of massive, Weghorst, he's going to Union St. Galloy. A good move for the Dutchman. As if I do sell your favourite player, I apologise and please don't be hurt. As still, we're loading out some like Jans. He's getting a second chance. Medic isn't though. He's going out permanently to Parma. And Borna Sosa, I'm actually going to sell to Crystal Palace. Jansen's still getting loan deals out the club as well, the youngster. And saying Joshua Simon because he's going to Spain. As that's right, I'm trying something I don't usually do with the academy, and I'm sending the scout out again, but I might not go Netherlands. In fact, I'm going Pakistan because I know they're building their football up. Ex-Grimsby Town player Otis Khan has just declared nationality. Yeah, and overall it just seems like there's a good feeling growing there, as we've got 69 million, meaning we should have a good feeling growing. Because we need to sign more players, and we have 8 Dutch players in the team at the moment. Only Forbes, Hilson, and I believe Soutalo aren't Dutch. But for now, I'm going to leave the first team, or maybe not leave the first team, as Erbig could push Gorta to the bench. If this kid plays well, as we've got £9.5 million, I'm going to offer that straight up. 75, 21 years old. Oh, and they want Hilson. who I am reluctant to let go, but you know what? We need youth players, and he is not a youth player. So I'm allowing the swap to happen, and we have just saved a bit of money, but I am hearing the locked alarm, meaning the locked objective has been opened. As the locked objective states, Man United steal Ajax players, so we've got to steal back 2 Man United players. I mean, when you look at their team, they've got Anthony, Mazraoui, De Ligt, and of course the manager, Ten Hag, all originally of Ajax. As we've got to steal really 2 of these players, and it can be any, and they've got some decent players at the club at the moment, so yeah, I don't mind this objective. Of course, gotta be a little bit careful around the money that we do spend on players, but I feel like the first option, strengthen the defence with Nusa Mazraoui. But weirdly enough, he turned us down, but one player that didn't turn us down, as here comes Anthony for a record-breaking amount of money back to Ajax from Manchester United suffering. Big risk is that one, and of course, we're just suffering with Mazraoui. We cannot get into the club, so I'm going to scroll down here a bit. Ugarte. Now, I know in real life he's just gone to Manchester United, but we have got the money for him, and I think it would be stupid not to. A solid rock for our midfield, which, yes, we have to change to centre mid, but I'm willing to take that risk, as it looks like the risk on scouting in Pakistan has paid off with Hassan. Managed to get him out on loan because I did not forget that objective, as look at this team. I didn't change the players around, so it stuck with what it was, with only Ugarte, the real outlier and bought player I put in the team, because of course the backup goalkeeper's on the bench in Urbig. Bench has shrunk right now, but he is a 78 rated, and Anthony on the bench, an 82 overall. Thought I'd give Götze a chance, who has gone to a 79, but now Anthony on that side. Götze onto that side. And Semstein, wow, how have we not spoke about this man? He's hit an 86 rating. He started at what, 75? Something close to that, might have been 75, yes. Taylor started low. Sutalo, Wrench, he was going to be replaced by Mazraoui as 44 goals Semstein, 44 goals, 30 for Anthony. That's unbelievable. 20 for Kenny Taylor, and then Hassan, our lone boy, did get a 66 rating. Oh, but Jason Janssen, he's tearing up Denmark with a 76 overall. Think he was, what, 68, which Peters is at the moment. Our youth is looking good, but it still could be better. I mean, yeah, it could be better, because we've got Qureshi we can promote right now, and also Kasim, who is a decent Pakistan player. So both of them promoted. Oh no, it is second in the league. We still haven't won the Eredivisie. 2 seasons gone. As that's our first trophy though, the Oranje Beker. Finally a trophy with Ajax. Took a little bit longer than I actually hoped it would have, as 4th in the Europa League phase is not bad. Going straight into this round where we just squeezed past Monaco, then dominated Hearts, 8-1 on aggregate. Oh, but Lens, who actually finished above us in them group stages, of course. Oh my days, and they're beaten by Feyenoord. They're unreal in career mode. So yeah, stopped by Lens and stopped by Feyenoord from winning the Eredivisie. But it's Champions League this year, and of course we love this Champions League. The sweet, sweet trophy we want to win, and a good team. Only thing to make this better is Ugarte being a centre mid, but it's gonna take him longer. Last year it was 17 weeks. That's the only real issue with career mode this year, and now 57 million. Of course it has snuck down a little, but I've still got faith with this very youthful team we have. We can compete. We've already got 1 youth player. Janssen's gonna stick around. I just really want to grow Hassan and Qureshi maybe? Or where's the other one? He's down here, Peters. Gonna loan list them, and I am gonna transfer list this player. Axel Dongen looks good, but we do have a left winger now. I don't want to sell too many players. It's all about loaning and maybe selling if we're replacing that position. I'm looking at you, Wijndal. I think your position is up for scrutiny. Of course, he is a Dutch player, so we've got to watch if we are selling him. Though we don't make a stupid error, as, of course, we're not going to make an error if we bring in a Dutchman in Maguire to replace our Dutchman. Expensive guy, this guy, and we have signed him before this year already on FC25, but he's too good to be true. 26 million from Monaco, who we just beat, and Dutch, so please just accept the goddamn offer. As they do second time round for 28.2 million, an 81 rated, and can only grow at 23. And I have just sold Van Drongen, I believe he went to Salzburg. Them pesky objectives requiring us to keep these youth players. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy about Janssen, but he still doesn't fit in our first team, and he's on the bench next to Tahirovic, who definitely needs replacing by a striker. Of course, a backup striker, because Brian Brobby is going nowhere. It's going to take over 150 million, that is, to take him off us. As in the meantime, I'm going to get another Dutchman, Tijani Noslin, who somehow ended up at Lazio, joins here for the cheap fee of 18.7 million. As I'll be the first one to say, I have just gone really cheap with signing him, because I wanted to save some money to go and send my scouts to Paraguay, but the best player they found is only 56 rated. No good youth away from the first team as before goal scorers. This is our youth away from home, and Peters is doing well. 75 overall. Heidenheim a solid team in the Bundesliga, that's for sure, as Hassan overshadowed by a younger Quasi. Very nice loan deal. Okay, we're getting our youngsters through, and Janssen's up to an 82. He's secured in our squad, as the squad overall looks very secure. We can actually put him into the starting 11. Look at that, looks very decent. We also have Urbig in the reserves, which usually is on the bench. He can replace Gortner, he's younger. And I am disappointed by Hato. 83 overall, 21 left-footed, but I just thought he'd be better. He is one of the biggest wonder kids. Not only in this game, but in world football as a whole, as we've changed the position of Agate, takes him to an 87 overall. Utterly unbelievable, as there we landing top of the league. Eredivisie, finally, we win the title. Just one title to go now, and it's not the Oranje Becker, which we lost. We lost out to FC Twente as well. Not Feyenoord, not PSV, it's actually this title we need to win, as we finished 10th in the Champions League phase. Not bad at all. In the playoff round, we beat that team that I'll never be able to say the name of. Let me know in the comments below how it said as we went out. Round of 16 to Manchester City. Hey, we gave it a good go. 5-4 on aggregate, and 3-3 at the City ground. There's 20 million left over, so plus maybe 60 million for qualifying for the Champions League. And winning the league should give us a lot more money to spend on this team, and we can sell players to buy, and we have our 3 young players. I knew the budget would be bigger, £75 million, so we can spend that cash. And we don't actually have to limit ourselves. We can stop with the academy, because I think we've got the players coming through. And it's a shame, really, because midfielders, 2 of them going on the bench. Change Kaplan, there we go. Right, we've built a solid bench, but it is these kids I feel sorry for, because I'm going to sell the likes of Tahirovic, Fitzjim as well, Guy can go as well, and I don't know why Jansen's still here. And we will also sell Meerveld, one of our first signings, as there's 5 onto the transfer list. And you might be thinking, Max, you've got enough money as it is right now. But I want to go big, and that is through the return of a player. And it's this man, Frankie de Jong, the Dutchman. In his final year of contract, so sure we could get him cheaper. He is 88 rated. And yes, he's hit the age of 30. But he was so instrumental when Ajax reached the semi-final, so I'm going to offer bang on the evaluation, go no cheaper for him. Give Pep a lot of money for what essentially is an out-of-contract 30-year-old player, and he would be stupid to reject it. But we preferably sell a player before we go ahead and pay the contract, as Hassan, one of our bloody youth players. He has to go to make room for his contract. This is what I said. It's a shame that 2 of our youth players are centre-mids, because they're not going to get played when this man's back in town. Sure, they will be in the starting squad, but this man is in the starting 11. Yes, welcome home, Frankie. Welcome home. Now, he's going to have to replace Proper. He can't replace one of the youngsters. And even in the first team, right, Taylor's going to have to step out. We have a stacked midfield. but I don't really want to sign defenders at the moment. Did we probably need to? Yes, but I am going to focus more on tactics this year as the defensive approach. I'm going to go balanced now in the UCL, and I'm going to make Frankie de Jong that playmaker plus. Now, I have played Ultimate Team this year, and also I've played my own career mode. The playmaker role just seems so goddamn overpowered. So yes, Frankie de Jong, I did a double check. He can play it plus. I'm gonna get so carried away with tactics this year, and if you guys like to hear it or not, let me know in the comments, then I can include it or I can not include it. And that is about it for this season, really, going into the UCL with de Jong and a very stacked midfield. Oh my god, right, Kazim and Peters, they have been doomed by that signing, as it looks like a lot have been doomed. Yes, you saw a lot of balanced drills, but a lot of players needed balanced drills, as de Jong, Ugarte, Steinen, the best players, and Robbie, with loads of goals coming from actually none of them, and Anthony, the Manchester United failure, 39 goals, 14 assists. But with that good fortune comes bad news. As much as I tried 3 times to sign Manuel Ugarte, and he just won't accept. Look at this. He won't accept. So at the end of the season, an 27-year-old is leaving for free. And as you can see, we had the money to actually give him a new deal. He just never accepted what we gave him, and we've fallen off our top spot. Genuinely hard to take. This has been a horrific smash back down to earth. We were competing with Man City, bought Man City's best player, and hey, have won a trophy and the Orange Becker again, but it is nothing like before. Just a tin pot trophy, really. No offense to previous winners, but I just didn't want to win that. I wanted the league, and the league phase to go good. 13th position, above Manchester City, but we only went in the playoff round, and Lombardia FC, aka Milan, beat us. They even had to come back as Ugarte straight out of the team, but we do have Kenny Taylor, and we do have our youngsters on the bench. As speaking on the bench, the goalie Gorta just got replaced and now goes back into the team. Right, there we go. Our defense is better. Hato now an 87. He listened to me telling him it was bad. And Sutalo 86 alongside Renge. This season needs to be better. Need to win the Eredivisie, as how much money have we got? Right, £70 million a game. And it's a shame that one of the weakest is our winger Janssen from the academy, but 88 shooting, 80 dribbling, 91 pace. Maybe as a striker, this man could be higher rated than Robbie, as then Major is low rated, and Gorta, the goalkeeper. 93 reflections. Some of these stats, 87 diving, brilliant stats on the players, just the overalls and performances aren't good. And one written rule, we are not replacing Ugarte. I'm not getting another centre mid. We've got Jerome Peters training, and Asif Kwazim, he could be a good little acquisition if he grows like he did when on loan in Uruguay, or maybe Argentina, as Kenny Taylor won't sign a contract up, and Gorta, 1 year, I think I'm going to try and sell him. I'm going for a keeper, as I've just signed Stein up, and Milan have paid his release clause, which, to be fair, is 146 million, which is incredibly annoying, but we will sell Gorta, giving us a lot of money when Sem Stein also leaves the club. Look at this, 226 million, and I didn't want a midfielder, but now I think we've got no choice. Now we need another cam. As I'm taking a gamble here, going for a non-Dutch player, Szoboszlai, who was back at Leipzig, but now is at Ajax. Sorry, Peter's out the way. Sobo is in town, so we just need a keeper now, and we should still have a lot of cash. And we don't need a Dutch player. We've got plenty of them in the team. Look at this man, Alex Blanco. Have you ever seen a better youth player? If we can afford it, we can afford it. And we are not just going to sit and watch. We're going to try and compete. We need to be the best team in Europe. And that's looking like getting there. We've not actually got a 90 rate, which surprises me because I thought there was. Robbie hasn't even hit that yet. Still 26, 88. I always have refused to sell him. And then de Jong, 89. sadly, I think he's going to go down. And I know the rulings do say we do need 3 youth players in the team. I'm going to take a big risk, though. I don't think Quasim is ready. So I'm going to loan him out, but first of all, Niek Jensen to Wolves Premier League football, and hopefully he gets better for next season and for when Taylor is gone, because he will run out of contract. We have had bids for him, but no! I want to use him. We need to go far in the Champions League. In fact, we need to win the UCL, and we could do that this season, but we're not going to do if we get rid of our best players, as we're all qualified for it, having to come back against Celtic. As can Ajax do a Champions League run like 2018-19? That was an unbelievable watch. I can remember watching that on TV, but this is worrying. No, not because of the ratings, but the right-back position. Vandenberg, and I know for a fact he hasn't played right back all season or didn't start there, as we do have Kaplan as maybe the player to actually play in that position is Jerome Peters. He's grown to an 83 now, and yes, he is a left footer, but he's got a big thing. He's a youth player, as rating wise Blanco and De Jong hit 90, 120, 131, and then Anthony 89, Brobby 89, but Anthony we have revived. As goal scoring wise, I mean, Taylor goes out at 10 and 10, but then 2 22s, and Janssen with 35. Amazing from the youngster, and I didn't even look at his rating first time, as now, go to the bench. Can Peters fill in there? 79 defending, 80 physical, 5-star skill moves. I mean, he can skill his way down the line. I'm not sure, but I think that's best. And it's a youth player there, as we haven't finished the season, actually. We always finish one above the UCL final, which I didn't do last year. To not spoil the surprise, as 1 league defeat all season, smashing the league and smashing PSV this year, who are the team we've still got to play, and they do win the Oranje Beker. Embarrassing from us, losing in round 1 to NEC. And in the Champions League, it is a 15th place finish, but we're not alone. We've got Leverkusen, Barca, Frankfurt, Arsenal, and Juventus all the way near the goddamn bottom. As did we have to qualify? Yes, beating Sparta Praha, smashing them in fact, as we also beat Milano. And is it only me as well that feels that badge is not intimidating? When I see that badge, I just feel like we should win, as we beat City 4-0. And then Leverkusen 5-3. They made the semi-finals, and they even finished below us, as we do make the final though. Ajax versus Athletic. The double A derby, as I'm straight back onto the squad, counting the Dutch players. And now it's going to pop up on screen how many we've got. And I've just had to count. It is 7, so that's a good thing. But we haven't got all our youth players, only 2 in the team at the moment. And Kureji on the bench, who was supposed to be a star. But of course, I'm going to call back Quasim, who's higher rated, and he gets a place as well. He doesn't go in the first team, but he's a good player, as that is the squad taking Ajax to the UCL final. And it is the A derby. Our tactics are all set with our attacking formation. Blanco forced into an early save. And I think Jerome Peters, yes, has just picked up a yellow card. And of course, he's out of position as a bit of early attacking from Atleti. I actually tampered with the tactics, so this man should get forward so he can join in the midfield a little bit. Feel at home a little bit more, as Anthony, he needs to be on his left foot. He's at home at Man United. Good save. Needed to take the lead early on, as I wonder if Erik ten Hag is actually watching his old team right here at Old Trafford if he's still in a job. Might be sacked whilst I'm recording this, and that will be a good thing with the save we have coming up on Sunday. Spoiler alert, as Anthony, come on, get running. Anthony again, always going on the left foot, and all my days when he went to swing. The ball got nabbed away, as good covering for Peters, who goes straight through the middle onto Anthony again. This time looking to pass it, and Brian Bobby in front of the defender. Brian Bobby, the striker. How is All Black still diving? He should be ancient. It'll break his bones as it's come back to Anthony. Get on the left foot. He needs to be on his left foot. Doesn't matter how good he is or thinks he is at the moment. Completely outdone right there by the left foot of, I believe, Alvarez. An ex-Man City player going and scoring at Old Trafford in a UCL final. and I don't understand how we've conceded there. Came from nothing, as Peters has really struggled at right back. As Szoboszlai, come on, Szoboszlai, can he do what Anthony tried? Dominic Szoboszlai, an instant reply before half-time. I had a team talk marked out. Don't need to go ahead with it now. An ex-City and Liverpool player both scoring at Old Trafford in the UCL final. Sorry to rub it in, United fans. As that makes halftime very interesting, because I was going to change the team up, but I might give it until the 60th minute, then start processing changes. So second half we march on, and Kenneth Taylor in one of his final games onto Janssen, top scorer in the league and Champions League. But that really wasn't a sign of a UCL top scorer. Atleti tried to strike first, but their strike is missed or saved as another one completely wide this time. As here's Van der Berg coming on for Peters, the youngster, who I really wanted to use, but he's just not done well at right back. We'll take a low-rated player who is actually better at defending, and if we could just score and hold on, we could probably move to a 5-back. But not for now anyway, as Janssen, Szoboszlai. I see Anthony making the run, and Anthony trying to get onto that left foot again. Flying, as now he needs to fly again. Get into the box, Anthony. Anthony needs a bit of support. He's going to try and swing this over the man to Janssen. Back post! And he's got it from between his feet. The youngster, the left winger, has scored. Potentially the winner. A great swinging ball by Anthony, who I've just slated. One wing to the other. And that is a fine finish. United will definitely want the youngster after him scoring that goal. It's hit the crossbar. Please block it. Van der Berg in the way and Maguire to clear. Dramatic ending to the game as, oh my days, how's not handball being given? De Jong almost dived in. It would have got sent off if he did connect, as now Atleti in the last minute. Another stupid slide from me, but I'm going to stay on my feet for Alvarez, who does squeeze a ball through. Wide from Benassa. And that missed shot means Ajax squeeze through to the UCL title win. Fantastic achievement after a struggle in real life. They can actually use their games in hand to go near the top, but still not the Ajax way, which you kind of do expect from them. As Sutalo, I believe, is a relatively new real-life signing. Lifting the UCL is the Croat at the defense, or the heart of defense. He's been brilliant all save. As if you do have ideas for the next saves, not the next one is a bloody big one, but comment them down below.